I wouldn't say there are any surprising trends, but something that I was really impressed by was how well mining companies dealt with COVID-19 overall, and the way they kept mines operating, kept people employed, and kept supplies flowing out of Australia to the rest of the world. I mean, three just general trends that we see, which are again trends in the industry, would be first, accelerating digital trends and uptake of digital automation. Secondly, increase in sustainability, both ambitious targets and practices. And thirdly, a move towards flexible and more remote working. But there are two things that we think at Accenture can really help mining companies stay great. And those two things are accelerating digital transformation and really being at the forefront of uptaking the latest in digital products and technologies. And secondly, and as importantly, setting and delivering on ambitious sustainability targets. Accenture has done a bunch of research on both of these topics, and what we found is that the companies that do both, i.e. take digital transformation really seriously and also set and deliver serious sustainability goals, are doing much better than companies that aren't, and in fact growing revenues twice as fast as companies that don't do either. Social value is a really important topic to me and to Australia and the industry. We're in the midst of a great transformation in terms of how companies are evaluated. So at the moment, companies are evaluated primarily on profitability, but through sustainability and social value, we're seeing a great shift to evaluating companies on both of these topics. So profitability, but also social value. And social value is really the additional contributions that companies make beyond profitability in terms of their contribution to society, to the community, through the jobs that they create and through the economic impact that they have. And what we're seeing now is that companies are really taking social value as well as profitability seriously. So Accenture is doing a lot in this space. Just to mention three things: impact, efficiency, and delivery. So in terms of impact, Accenture is really focusing on how can companies have the biggest impact in social value. Is it through the environment? Is it through the social work that companies do? Is it through additional governance mechanisms that they can put forward? The second way that Accenture is helping companies is thinking through efficiency. So how do companies do this in an economic way? They could do this, they could try to have as much impact as they would like to, but how can they do this in a cost-effective manner? And then the third way Accenture is helping is through implementation and delivery. So how do we use technology, how do we use operations, and how do we use ecosystem partners to have the biggest impact? Mining companies actually have a great history of getting social value right, and what's actually really impressive is how so many mining companies are taking social value really seriously. Just to pick one example, we did a study of roughly the top 10 mining companies around the world, and we actually found that 9 out of 10 of them had net zero carbon targets to both 2030, 2040 and 2050, with an average of trying to reduce their carbon emissions by 30% by 2030, which is actually a pretty impressive goal and achievement if they can get there. I think we're at the very beginning of this process of understanding what decarbonisation means for the industry and how companies do decarbonise. But what is really impressive is how seriously mining companies are taking that through their ambitious targets, but also the things that they're working on. So bringing renewable energy to the mine site, reducing the emissions of their vehicles, and also looking forensically at the whole mining value chain and seeing how they can reduce their carbon emissions. I thought it went really well. It was a great opportunity to talk to some of the key experts in the industry, from BHP, from the university, of Curtin from the supply chain and really have a frank, interesting and challenging discussion about how sustainability and social value can be delivered in the mining industry. One key theme that really came through was not just how much this means to the individual companies involved, but how important it is for Australia, for the communities and for some of the people on the panel, and it was really exciting to hear.